Good evening and welcome to our coverage of the Charlotte Eagles versus South Carolina United Bantams from Dixon Field at Queens University Sports Complex. I'm Harrison Raby alongside Mitch Sanford. Tonight's starting lineups, both teams are going to start out in a 4-3-3. The Eagles are going to start with James Pyle in goal, Austin Yearwood, Lawless Abubakar, Cam Boites, and Mason McCarter in the back. Wilfred Williams, Kyle Culbertson, and Amos Amankona in the midfield, and Daniel Timbosh, Danny Jensen, and Nathan Regis at forward. The South Carolina United Bantams are going to start with Marco Velez in goal, Matt Freeman, Jeremy Banya, Andrew Litton, and Matt McCannis in the back, Rhett Stevens, Jonathan Callahan, and Danny Cates in the midfield, and up top, Eli Dent, Rex Epps, and Cody Millard. Mitch, what do you think this game means to the Eagles as they look to secure their place in first place in the South Atlantic Division?
Coming off of 3 consecutive ties against the Southern West Virginia Kings Warriors, the Eagles will obviously be looking to get back into the win column. Still sitting in first place, but with that series of ties, Cincinnati closing the gap on them. So important before a couple of upcoming games against Cincinnati to get 3 points. Maintain hold of that position, get back to winning ways, and hopefully build some momentum, some confidence, put some balls in the back of the net a little bit. So, yeah, 1 goal in the last outing. I know Coach Dixon will be hoping at home to be on the front foot tonight and see them, put a few balls away.
And the Eagles will have a good chance to do that if this game's anything like the last game that played between these two teams. It was both teams' home opener, or both teams' opener, and the Eagles won that game 5-0 thanks to 2 goals from Nathan Regis. So we're off here, and it looks like the Bantams are going to try to establish possession, but Austin Yearwood was able to dispossess. Just a standings update, the Eagles are still in first place in the South Atlantic Division with 21 points, 6 wins, 0 losses, and against the Kings Warriors. The Bantams are in last in the division with 4 points, with 1 win, 6 losses, and 1 draw. Though, is able to collect that attempt from Regis. So it looks like they're going to start with Regis out wide, as opposed to in that center striker role that he's used to playing. How do you think that's going to work out for the Eagles?
And I actually think what we might end up seeing is a bit of a 2-front. You see Danny Jensen with the headgear on there playing up top alongside Regis, and then you have Wilfred Williams and Daniel Tenbosh playing outside of Amos in the middle, and then Kyle Culbertson's going to stay at more of a holder, so almost a 4-1-3-2. I think the idea with that has been Amos, who you see on the ball now, get him a little further up the field where his ability, as you see there, to hold the ball on the dribble might get a pitch where he can be a little more dangerous, threading balls through to Jensen and the other Sasha, they call him, the other forward.
Yeah, they tried to do that last game in the second half where they put Jared Odenbeck on at half, and that allowed Amos Amankona to get kind of to that attacking midfielder position. As Tim Bosch is going to put it across in, but it's Banya for the Bantams. Matt Freeman's going to clear that out for the Bantams. It's going to be a throw in for the. I think they're going to give it to South Carolina.
You're going to see South Carolina in a 4-3-3, but defensively sitting into a 4-5-1. You see those wingers drop back in now that they possession, push them a little higher up the pitch. But in defense, you're going to pretty much Epps up top by himself, and then the wingers drop off.
Maybe coming out a bit more conservatively after giving up 5 goals to the. They probably want to prevent that, and it looks like they're getting a good attack going now, but Lawless Abubakar was able to get to that, and the Eagles are going to try to counter here with Nathan Regis taking it up the field. He's got some support, but that's McManus who clears it out, and it's going to be an Eagles throw-in. Good on the counter by the Eagles there, though.
And good 1v1 defending there by McManus. Regis, not a guy you as a center back want to get isolated against, but did well to get his body in between Regis and the ball and hold him off.
Yeah, we're going to have another throw in here.
That is really good stuff from Amos.
Really great move there. But they weren't able to make anything of it. Nathan Regis almost got to that, but a really nice 1v1 play. And now it's going to be Cody Millard taking it up for the Bantams, and he plays it out to Rex Epps, who's going to fire a shot, but it's blocked by Austin Yearwood. And Yearwood's going to be able to keep it in. And he beats him one-on-one, and the Eagles are on the counter again, I think. Now they're just going to slow it down now.
Culbertson there on the ball may have gotten away with a little too much hands as he was defending Millard there through the middle. Was fortunate to ref bring that one back.
Yep, Millard definitely had a head of steam there. He's been one of the best players for the Bantams so far. He has, I think, 2 goals for them so far this season.
We already see what Amos can do on the ball there as he picked that ball up in the corner. 2 defenders and the end line against him, and he was able to work his way free. See if getting him higher up the pitch makes a difference for Charlotte tonight.
Yep. The Eagles have been good in possession so far, not giving it away carelessly. Abubakar's going to try to play the long ball there to Wilford Williams, but by Freeman, it's going to go out for a goal kick.
And I think early in the game, if you're Coach Dave Dixon, you don't mind that ball over the top just to stretch the defense a bit. If you're uncertain early in the game, don't give away, like you said, anything careless. If you're going to lose it for a goal kick and not in the midfield. So Abubakar didn't see anything, so he dumped something in behind. Just be safe until you establish some rhythm.
Banya knocked that one out, so it's going to be a Charlotte Eagles throw in the Bantams half, and now it's Culbertson on the ball, and he finds Nathan Regis. He's got some support in the box. Let's see if he can get a cross in there. But the Bantams were up to it. They had 2 defenders there, and now it's Matthew Freeman on the ball for the Bantams, and he finds his teammate Banya. Good job getting numbers to the ball there by South Carolina.
These 2 just passing it back and forth, making Regis work. Needed a little bit earlier support. If you're going to press that high up the pitch, everybody up there needed Jensen to come and join him a little bit earlier, wore himself out. As the Bantams just pass back and forth.
And they're able to, they were almost able to find, I think that was Andrew or Drew coming up from the back on a through ball, but it just went out of bounds. Or pardon me, I think that might have been Rhett Stevens. But it looks like the Bantams are going to try to possess it, have been trying to possess it so far. They've done a pretty good job of that. They're moving well. But they weren't able to do it there, and it's going to be an Eagles throw in a pretty dangerous area. Let's see if they can get numbers up here and put pressure on and try to get a first goal. It's going to be Tim Bosch on the ball, and he finds Culbertson. Culbertson wearing the captain's armband tonight, as Scout Monteith is not in the roster. And Boitez gets his first home start of the season after starting their last 2 games in Southern West Virginia, that center back role. As Wilford Williams is going to take on Matt Freeman, and he's going to try to have a shot, but Freeman was able to deflect it. It's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles. That's the first corner kick of the game. Looks like they're going to have Amasa Minkona to serve this one in.
You've got both center backs, Abubakar and Boitez, come up forward. Boitez a solid 6'4".
And Abubakar serves it in, and Abubakar was able to get up there, but not on frame. Abubakar plays much taller than his 6'1" frame. Last home game against Southern West Virginia, he got to about 10 balls in the air. It was a real force in the air. And it's hard to believe that he's only about 6'6'1" with the way he plays.
No, he's a definite threat in the air, as you saw. They timed it well, just couldn't get on top of the ball, put it on frame.
It's a good ball by Alencona, though. The goal kick is won by Rhett Stevens, and now it's going to be Rex Epps just playing it back into the defense. Good pressure.
Good ball out of pressure. South Carolina putting their foot on it here a little bit.
They're going to call a foul there on Danny Jensen. Just caught Rhett Stevens' foot there, and it's going to be it was a free kick for South Carolina. They're going to play a long ball, but Austin Yearwood's on it. And they're going to call that a goal kick. He was just able to shield it out, and I think Millard might have gotten a touch on it right before it went out.
Would have been interesting to see what happened if Millard had gambled and run in behind Yearwood. He kind of played in front of him and then had to chase it down as the ball went behind, but could have been tricky there. Yearwood, I'm not sure if he let it run through or if he misjudged it, but ended up coming out with a goal kick.
And James Pyle plays it deep into Bantams territory, and Yearwood's just going to let that guy out of bounds for an Eagles throw. Eagles have tried to play a lot of long balls in today. They've got two good options up there. As Nathan Regis goes for the ball, but it's knocked down. There's no foul called. And now Boites is just able to possess it.
I think as the game settles in, you'll see Jensen come back and get the ball at his feet from the forward position. Amakona try and find some under the forwards. Ten Bosch coming in from the right wing, tucking inside, and I don't know that it'll stay this direct
It was a good
the whole
aerial
game.
ball.
But if you can drop balls like that in, then why not? Go for it. Good left-footed ball from Williams.
And that's going to lead to an Eagle throw-in once again in South Carolina's half. And Yearwood's able to find Tim Bosch. And let's see if Tim Bosch can get a shot here. He dribbles through a couple people. He's got a one-on-one now. But a great save from Velez and a follow by Wilfred Williams. And Velez is able to get a fist to it. Oh, and a really nice by Daniel Tim Bosch, excuse me. But
Mason McCarter up from the outside back. It was Tim Bosch who worked his way inside from the right wing.
Back there. Great effort by McCarter, just sails wide left, but good stuff from the Eagles there. And now it's Wilfred Williams able to get an errant kick and tried to find Danny Jensen in there, but that's just going to trickle over to Velez, who's able to control it. Definitely stepping up the pressure are the Eagles now that we're past the first 10 minutes.
That's the first time we've seen Ten Bosch on the ball in the final third. He was able to turn his defender and then worked his way right through the center of the Bantams defense. I think they were a little afraid to tackle once he got inside the box. Like you said, Velez did well to cut him out.
And now it's Nathan Regis on the ball, and he's got time. And that's going to be the opening goal of the game. Nathan Regis takes it one-on-one and puts it in the top left corner against Velez. He had pretty much nobody defending them in there in the box. What happened there, Mitch?
Well, I think you had the
creative celebration here.
Interesting celebration from the team. But no, you had Regis get in behind the outside back, and not sure. I think it was late coverage from the center back, and it ended up being the keeper who had to come off his line defender. And ideally, there you would want one of the center backs over that much distance that Regis covered on the dribble to be able to get in front of the ball, so that you force him to make another pass before he gets right in on top of the keeper. But heads up play by Regis. You worked hard to win the ball defensively, and then if you have the space in front of you, be aggressive. Forwards instinct, drive at the goal. Velez came out low on him and just roofed it, put it in the top of the net.
And that's Austin Yearwood with a good tackle there, but it's just barely going to go out for a corner kick. It was right next to that flag. Yeah, I think they were trying to run an offside trap on that goal, and they probably underestimated Nathan Regis' speed. He was able to just make up a lot of ground in a couple of steps, and all of a sudden was one-on-one with the keeper, and there's just Velez was just kind of on an island there. And
See if the Bantams can answer here, get something off the corner.
Yeah. And that's just Bacher was able to save it off the line, and now it's going to be Tim Bosch. He doesn't have a lot of support, about 2 guys. He tried to play it up to Wilford Williams, but Bonya was there.
Worth a try.
Yep. That's going to be Rhett Stevens, and he plays the high ball, but Abu Bakr was there. He's trying to find Rex Epps. He's that target man there for the Bantams. Rhett Stevens has done well in that kind of deep-lying playmaker role there for the Bantams. So it's going to be Cody Miller finds Epps on the outside, and he tries to play one in, but there's no one there, and Kyle Culbertson was easily able to collect that. And that shot from Callahan's going to go wide left. It looks like the South Carolina's doing a good job of playing a high line and kind of keeping everything in the Eagles' half in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, you would think, just based on records coming into the game and what you'd expect from South Carolina would be for them to sit in, and they've played up, like you said, playing a little higher up the field than you would anticipate on the road. And it came back and bit them there on the goal, but they've been able to create a corner, establish a bit of pressure, get some guys on a few more numbers around the ball in the final third. Now it's just a matter of whether they can actually contain Regis, who's proven to be one of the better forwards in the PDL this season. You leave that space behind you, and it's just a matter of time till he gets in.
Yeah, that was Nathan Regis' 7th goal on this season. He came into the game tied for 8th in goals scored, and that'll probably put him in the top 5 now that he has 7.
We're just 15 minutes into play here, so he may not be done.
He could get another. Yeah, he had 2 in the last game against South Carolina in that opener, and he had 1 in their last game as well. The lone goal for the Eagles, which came in the 35th minute against Southern West Virginia, as Danny Jensen's able to dispossess Matt Freeman there, and Kona plays one down the line, but wasn't quite able to get it to Nathan Regis, and it's going to go out for a South Carolina goal kick.
Neither team seems to have changed the way they're looking to play after that goal. South Carolina's still keeping their shape, trying to play 3 up top and just stick with what they're doing.
It's Cody Miller with the win, but Kyle Culbertson was able to climb the ladder and make a nice win there, and the Eagles are able to maintain possession in the back.
Boitez on the ball is a local product, played his high school soccer at Charlotte Christian School, and then with the CSA, Charlotte Soccer, developed good soft feet for such a tall player. Passes well out of the back.
Now Daniel Timbosh is on the ball, and he finds Amas Kona. The Eagles are pressing again. Kona is able to find Regis. He turns and plays Danny Jensen. See if he can play a low ball in, and he plays it in and was able to find the head of.
It was Ten Bosch at the near post.
Yep, Daniel Ten Bosch, but it just went over the top. That would have been a tough one to get that head turn and put it on frame, but definitely good stuff from the Eagles there. And Danny Jensen looked good, taking that down to the in line and playing it into the box.
That's what you're going to get from Jensen. He's going to be active, working across the line of the defense. His work rate's going to find him some space, and then he's just going to muscle and work his way to the end line. Created a quality service there. Like you said, not a high percentage chance, but from that position, a decent look.
Yeah, and that's one thing you're always going to get with Danny Jensen, extremely high work rate, always moving, and definitely very strong on the ball considering his relatively short stature. He's only about 5'9", but you rarely see him get knocked off the ball. And, that's something you got to have in that forward position. That's why a lot of the littler guys end up kind of moving back to midfield as they develop, but I think because he's so strong on the ball and so athletic, and of course he works so hard, he's able to really have a lot of success as a forward. And that's going to be Wilford Williams, I think, and he tried to play in Daniel Timbosh there, and sorry, that's Daniel Timbosh on the ball now. And Danny Jensen on the ball. Right back to Austin Yearwood and try to reset things. Kyle Culbertson is definitely playing a much deeper role probably used to. Like I said, they usually play Jared Odenbeck back there, but he's not in the roster tonight, so Culbertson's kind of playing that number 6 role.
And being the only one, sometimes, you play 2 holders in front of the back 4, and then you can have a little more freedom to roam and one stays. But as the lone holder, you're going to see Culbertson probably just staying within 10 or 15 yards of Amankona or Abubakar and Boitez. Just sit in that space right in front.
And Austin Yearwood's just going to play it to Regis. He was able to save it in the corner and
invites a double team, but does win a throw.
We're able to win a throw in there.
From that position, not the worst result. I thought he might try and play it off the defender and get himself a corner.
It's going to be a long throw from Regis into the from Yearwood into the box, and now it's Tim Bosch on the ball and able to find Danny Jensen. I think he wanted a foul there on the corner of the box, but he's not going to get it. It's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles.
Good work from the Eagles there to pick up the seconds off of the long throw-in. Amankona and then Tenbosch fighting to keep possession, keep the ball in the final third.
It's going to be Culbertson. He's going to play it in for the corner, and he does, but the Bantams were up to it, as I think that was Danny Cates who was able to get the clearance there.
South Carolina could use a little spell of possession here, put their foot on the ball. Charlotte's begun to have their way a little bit.
It's a nice night for soccer here in Charlotte, as South Carolina is going to take it up, but Austin Yearwood was able to benefit from a dispossession from Wilford Williams there, and it's going to be Eagles ball. It's a nice night for soccer. It's been really hot the last 2 weeks, but I think it's kind of cooled down here. We had a little storm before the game, but definitely didn't disrupt the game, especially thanks to this turf.
Yeah, and a little breeze as well. So it's not too hot, and you got a little breeze, but not enough wind that I feel like it's going to really affect play. But I'm not for the last day of June in the South. It's about as good as you could hope it to be. Playing weather.
We just had our first booking of the game, as that was Rhett Stevens received a yellow card for a hard tackle on Danny Jensen. It's going to be a free kick for the Eagles here as Culbertson and Amankona. South Carolina's got a lot of size across that back line. And
they do.
I think early on the Eagles had a hard time with those long balls because of that size. South Carolina was able to get a lot of hits to it, as Austin Yearwood was going to try to cross it in there, and Daniel Timbosh will see if he can save it. He's not able to, and it's going to be a throw in for South Carolina.
Well defended by Boitez. Yearwood has been a nice left back that Coach Dixon's been able to plug in there from game one, and excellent athlete, good service with his left, reads the game well, knows when to get forward and when to stay home and just connect passes. I feel like he's been someone who's exceeded the coach's expectations even coming in.
Yeah, he's another Charlotte product. He was at Myers Park High School, but then ended over his junior and senior year because Myers Park lost their IB magnet. As Charlotte Eagles are able to create something here, it's going to go out off into the corner.
Ten Bosch does well to track it down.
And I think that was Wilford Williams.
It was.
Tried to have a go at it with his left foot, but Velez was right there, and that was pretty routine safe.
Yeah, you could see what he was trying to do, curl a ball around Velez, but it was more, didn't have the pace on it, so that if it wasn't perfectly placed, it was going to end up being pretty routine, like you said, for Velez.
Marco Velez has looked good so far for South Carolina despite letting in that pretty early goal. He didn't really have anything he could do on there, but had a couple nice saves earlier in the half and has looked pretty solid back there for the Bantams. And that's going to be Austin Yearwood playing it into Nathan Regis. He's going to try to get support, and he gets some from Austin Yearwood on the overlap, and Yearwood's able to swing one in. Oh, but at the last second there, that was...
Yeah, that was Litton, I think.
Yeah, that was Drew back. Litton that was able to get ahead there. And the Eagles had a guy there at the back post, so that might have been goal number 2 if it hadn't been for him. It's a good ball there by Yearwood, who we were just talking about. He plays his college soccer at High Point University, where he's going to be a senior. Another product of Charlotte Soccer Academy.
I feel like there's several future pros in this Eagles lineup. Every one of these guys will be returning to college soccer in the fall. No post-college players in, no guys that really even have finished college. Every guy on the Eagles roster still has college eligibility, will be going back to play. So it'd be exciting to track those guys, see how they continue to do. As a great ball from Boitez, trying to find an overlap in McCarter, but couldn't quite bring it down.
Now it's going to be the Bantams on the counter-attack again, as that's going to be Cody Millard. And he's trying to find something across there, but and now it's going to be, I think that's Dent playing it into Millard. And a hard tackle from Abubakar, and it knocks Millard down, but there's not going to be a penalty there. I think he mostly just got kind of shoulder-to-shoulder contact. Looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I think the center back there, Abubakar, for the Eagles, was able to put his foot on the ball. That, as you see, the Bantams still arguing for it.
Like it.
And then he kind of got squeezed out. Miller did, after working real hard to get on the end of that chip. Chipped pass from the captain, Cates. Haven't seen goalkeeper James Pyle have to do a whole lot for the Eagles tonight. It looked like he was about to be called into some action.
Yeah, definitely had his guard up there. It's a good play by Miller to not only start the counterattack there, but then continue to work off the ball and put himself in a position to almost get the Bantams' first goal. And this can be Danny Jensen out on the right wing. He's able to find, Nathan Regis out there. That's going to go for a corner kick for the Eagles, as it was knocked away by Drew Litton once again.
As Kyle Culbertson went to take the corner, Lalas Abubakar ran over, gave him a couple instructions. So see if Culbertson looks for number 4, Ghanaian center back, and he does. Velez up to it though. Does enough. As Abubakar gives Culbertson the thumbs up, like the delivery, gave him a chance. And like you said, he's good in the air, plays bigger than his actual height.
Yeah, not every goalkeeper would be able to even get a hand to that when he's going against Lalas Abubakar. So good job by Marco Velez to just parry that away, and love to see another shot. Now it's going to be Boitez on the ball, and he finds McCarter out wide. McCarter kind of slid into the lineup in around the 3rd game. Didn't start the season, but has done well since entering the starting lineup late.
Yeah, McCarter, who plays at App State, is another Charlottean local guy. So you've got in this Charlotte lineup 2 Ghanaians, and then Regis from Trinidad and Tobago, Daniel Tenbosch from California, Culbertson and Jensen from Ohio State, and then a handful of local Charlotte guys. So good blend to the team here this season.
Yep. And Regis plays his college soccer at Pfeiffer University. One of the only, most of this team is comprised of Division I players, and now Wilfred Williams is going to get a chance at it as Matt Freeman kind of bobbled it there, but he was able to get back to it. And it's going to be a goal kick for South Carolina.
Williams, I think, would have done well to just put his foot through it first time. I know he's a lefty, but from that position, I think you just go ahead and put your right foot through it and take it when it's there. Tried to get it over to his left and lost the opportunity.
Williams got his first goal of the season 2 games ago in their first of 2 away games against Southern West Virginia in the second half, which kind of cut the lead in half, and eventually the Eagles were able to get a late goal and tie that one 2-2. And he's come on a lot as a sub, and this might be his first start, and he's looked pretty good so far. He's had a lot of chances. This is going to be Cates, who drives it in, and he's going to try to curl it around, and nobody there. McCarter heads that out for a corner kick.
Some decent build-up play there as Dent and Freeman, Callahan were able to combine on the right side, eventually free up Cates for the service. Cates, I think, would like to have seen a little more commitment from the runners in the box, give them something to play to.
And Eli Dent's going to drive this one in for South Carolina. And James Pyle kind of got up there, and that's going to go right over the top for Danny Cates. Not far off, though. It was a good volley from about 23 yards out.
At just at the top of the deep. Yeah, probably 22, 23 out. Hit it clean, just couldn't quite get on top of it. Pyle there came out to claim the corner, but wasn't able to get enough on it to get it beyond the next Bantams player.
That high ball was controlled by McManus, who plays his college soccer at South Carolina.
And there's the offsides call.
Yeah. And again, Eagles are going to try to get quick on the counters. Wilfred Williams is able to find Danny Jensen. A lot of speed up there for the Eagles.
Yeah, and on that last call, Epps must have started in an offsides position, and by the time the ball came to him, even though he was onside when he received it, he had come back from an offsides position to get it. So caught the Bantams off guard, but apparently that's what the official's assistant saw over here on this near sideline.
Good pressure from Epps there, forcing it to go all the way back to James Pyle, who was then able to control it and get it to Boitez. Abubakar's been a rock for the Eagles. He's the only player on the team that's played every minute. He started every game at center back and has really done a lot of good things, both scoring goals, getting assists, winning a lot of aerial balls, and just helping them possess it in the back. As Boitez is able to, or just going to try to fend off Epps there, and he's able to. What do you like most about Abubakar's game, and what do you think makes him such a good player?
Obviously, his ability to run players down, his ability to win balls in the air, defensively and in attacking set pieces is.
Danny Jensen finds Nathan Regis here.
No, but yeah, Abubakar has a high level professional athletic and aerial game, and I think as he continues to develop his passing and his range, he's a future pro. Just as he is, teams will give him a chance based purely on what he can do in the air and tracking runners down.
Yep. He and Amasa Mankona both are from Ghana, and they both come to the Eagles from the University of Dayton.
There's
And this is
Amankona.
Amankona right here, and he's able to get the second goal for the Eagles as he just threads it in the back and knocks it off the back post and into the net. That's a really nice move to get a free shot, and that's going to be 2-0 lead for the Charlotte Eagles.
And the Eagles bench loved that one. I think they had a good view down the sideline of Amankona's obviously incredible technical ability, slipping that ball, I believe, through the legs of the Bantams defender to free himself up for a low-driven shot that Velez didn't have much of a chance on, hard off the inside of the far post.
Yep. Velez once again did a good job of coming out and kind of eliminating that angle, and Amankona just put it right in that bottom right corner, and there's just nothing Velez was ever going to be able to do about that. That was just a great individual effort from Amos Amankona to give the Eagles a 2-0 lead. And that's going to go out of bounds for South Carolina Bantams throw.
And really the Bantams didn't do anything wrong there. Defended it well, had players in position, and it was just a superior individual effort from Amankona to turn on the dime, beat the defender, and then get the shot off before the next defender could arrive to help.
Yeah, it's just like you were talking about, Mitch. Once you're able to kind of put him in more of that attacking role rather than having to sit back and defend, he's really able to create a lot. And right there, he just created for himself, and it's a great individual effort to get the goal.
I think Coach Dixon, it starts with being able for him to trust Culbertson in that holder position to be able to take care of things by himself defensively and in distribution. That then frees up Amankona to get a little further forward as you see him spray a great ball out wide to McCarter.
Good job of McCarter getting up from the back, and that's going to be a shot that's
That's a
parried
great
away by Marco Velez. Good shot by, I think that was Wilfred Williams. He was trying to catch that left side of the goal, but Velez was up to it and made a really nice reaction save to knock it away for a Charlotte Eagles corner kick. And it's going to be Amasa Mancona again on the corner. He's going to try to swing that right foot in and see if he can get one of his teammates onto it. It's going to be short.
Oh, I'm not sure who that came
handball
off
there, and Abubakar was able to get onto it, and I think it took a deflection off of another of the Bantams player, and the Eagles are saying that it went off of his hand, but I don't think the ref saw anything there. It's going to be another corner kick.
And I don't know that the Bantams player knew anything about it. His hand was by his side. If it hit him in the arm, he didn't even know it.
Yep. It's just going to be swinging to the back post, and Freeman was able to get there, and that's a bicycle kick from Wallace Abubakar, and it just kind of sailed over the top, but it's about the only way he was going to be able to get a shot onto that. It's a pretty creative play, but out for a corner anyway, or out for a goal kick anyway.
Well done by Freeman to outbattle Boitez for the initial corner.
Yeah,
get his head on that ball.
He's tough guy to go up against in that box.
Freeman's probably given up 6 inches.
Yep.
Speaking of good headers, well won by Culbertson.
And Jensen's able to bring that down, but yeah, Freeman's playing well at that left back position for South Carolina and causing a lot of problems. But Danny Jensen with a really nice backheel play, and
good little move by Regis to free himself up.
Yeah, Regis, excuse me. And that's Wilfred Williams going to try to play a low ball in, but Freeman there. Culbertson's able to take it out of the air and find Amos Alankuna is going to dribble at the South Carolina defense again, but it's going to be Banya who's able to clear that away for South Carolina. I think we've noticed in the last minute or two the tempo's really jumped up as the Eagles, I think, kind of smell blood and are trying to get that third goal and perhaps put them away. But South Carolina's defense has been pretty stout since letting up that second goal. And Danny Jensen's able to get the ball for Freeman. There's certainly going to be a foul. I think that was just a tactical foul to just kind of knock him down. They're going to give him a yellow card for that, so another Bantams player in the book.
I think a little just frustration there from Freeman. Lost the ball and got just a grab of Jensen's jersey. And Jensen's one of those guys that can get under your skin. He works so hard off the ball in attack. And then defensively, as far as forwards go, he's going to apply a ton of pressure. He's a quality two-way player.
You're going to take that back for a re-kick. I think he might have taken it from an advanced position. Yeah, I think if he hadn't fouled him there, he probably would have had a really good chance for a counter-attacking goal. So it was a yellow card, but kind of, in the same way, kind of a smart foul there for Freeman. But he's going to have to be careful to play a clean game from here on out and not get a red card. Because that'd be as tough as it is to come back from 2-0 down. It's even tougher with 10 men.
We're 6 minutes away from the half, so about 51 minutes or so that Freeman will have to navigate on the yellow.
Yeah, he as well as Rhett Stevens. It'll be interesting to see this last five minutes or so whether the Eagles kind of try to sit back and keep that 2-0 lead going into half, or really try to pressure hard and get a third goal, which would really be hard for South Carolina to come back from.
Yeah, a third one before half you would think would seal things, but South Carolina, especially the first 20 minutes of the game, looked like they had a goal in them potentially.
It's going to be a nice ball in from Danny Cates, and one of his teammates was able to get a head onto it, but James Pyle was there and made a pretty routine save, and now it's going to be Masam Kona who's able to find Nathan Regis out on that left side with Culbertson overlapping him. It's going to go to Culbertson. And he's got Danny Jensen in there, but they're going to call offsides on Jensen.
It's the two Buckeyes connected there, Culbertson and Jensen. It's a great ball by Culbertson and a good idea of Jensen. There's no way he could direct a header that could score from the position he was at the top of the box, but tried to knock it down for Ten Bosch.
Yeah, there's really no South Carolina defender around him. He was a little bit offside, but if he had been able to, catch that defense napping and just get on sides, that would have been dangerous. As Nathan Regis is able to hold it up and find Wilford Williams down that left flank. He's being defended by Cody Millard. That's an errant pass, and Austin Yearwood's just going to collect it. Yeah, this back line for the Eagles definitely does a good job of possessing it and not giving away anything easy, and then also switching fields, which kind of throws something different at their opponents.
Switch doesn't quite get through, and now it's Williams. Charlotte will just kind of put their foot on it. Yeah, I think you see here Charlotte choosing to make sure they don't do anything that causes them to get caught in possession or get caught numbers down. Be a little more conservative here for the last few minutes of the half. Yep. Nothing conservative about Amakona's game, though. If he sees space, he's going to accelerate on the dribble.
He's so smart, though. He definitely is aggressive and trying to get that goal, but he also knows where his teammates are and keeps his head up, and always trying to find a teammate to give a good opportunity to. Wilford Williams able to play a really good ball off the volley there and almost found, I think that was Tim Bosch or McCarter, maybe. Yeah, it was Mason McCarter who's trying to track back as Danny Cates is going to dribble it up into Eagles territory and finds Epps, who hasn't seen a lot of the ball in the last couple of minutes, but Rex Epps is going to play it into Danny Cates, who is going to try to have a long shot from out there, but it caught a deflection or two, and James Pyle was able to just collect it for the routine save, and it's going to be Eagles ball again.
It's going to take something special to beat James Pyle from that distance off no run-up, just to touch it and hit it. Pyle's a excellent shot stopper, reads the ball well. Very good goalkeeper.
And another local product. He played high school soccer at Audrey Kell, as did his younger brother William Pyle, who's his backup here at the Eagles. James plays his college soccer at UNC, and William Pyle plays at South Carolina. So definitely a good 1-2 goalkeeper tandem there.
Two guys that love to train.
Oh, Danny Jensen gets a chance there, but saved by Velez. Just trying to swing that left foot on.
Another shout for a handball.
Yep. And that's going to be Eli Dent finding Cody Millard out of South Carolina right there. And now South Carolina's getting some numbers forward, and Epps was able to kind of sneak around him, and I think they called offsides there.
Not so sure that I agree with that call. I think that ball was in the air for a while, and Epps ran underneath it. Didn't end up doing much with the header, but I don't know that I saw him as being offside. I was a little surprised to see the flag go up.
Yeah, I think he stayed on the right side of Mason McCarter there, and I think he was actually onside. But the whistle came after his header went wide anyway, so it would have been a goal kick from pretty much the same spot anyway. But good stuff by Epps, and a really good ball there by I think that was Jonathan Callahan. A good ball to try to find him curling around there, and South Carolina could really use another goal before the half. Really could use a goal before the half. And it's going to be Amos Amankona sprays one out to Nathan Regis. Let's see if he can take on Matthew Freeman. And so aggressive tackle there by Freeman, but proved to be pretty clean. And
not much of a shout from Regis. Didn't make much of any appeal.
As that ball goes up for a throw in, it looks like Nathan Regis is kind of down on his knees stretching that. Hopefully that's just a little nick, nothing too bad. And I think Matthew Freeman for South Carolina is also down on the turf. So
wouldn't be surprised if that was about all we saw of the first half.
Yeah,
we've finished the 45 minutes of normal time, so
yeah, we're in stoppage time at this point, and both guys down there are up on their feet and walking around after that tough play by both guys. And I think Freeman almost fouled him, but Regis wasn't really complaining for a penalty, so it looked like a clean foul from here, or a clean play from here. But definitely another good opportunity for the Eagles, who they're definitely not wanting to give away a goal before the half, but at the same time, those attacking guys want another goal and almost got one there.
Now Regis is always aware of where the goal is and is hungry. I think he's done well today so far, knowing when to hold the ball up, combine with midfielders, and when to have a go, run at the goal, be aggressive. So I think we've got a substitution.
Yeah, there's going to be a substitute. I think they're bringing Matt Freeman off, and they're going to bring on number 20, Anthony Gonzalez, to fill in for him at that right back position. I wonder how much time's still left on the clock for this first half for Gonzalez to kind of get his toes wet and acclimated to the game.
Fourth official just put up a sign saying 2 minutes. So we got 2 minutes of stoppage time here before the half. Right now it's the Eagles up 2-0 off of an early goal from Nathan Regis, and then a second goal, great individual effort from Amankona.
That's going to be the half right there. It's 2-0 Charlotte Eagles going into halftime after goals from Regis and Amankona. And we'll see if the Eagles can extend that lead in the second half or if South Carolina can bite into it. And we're back for the second half of the Charlotte Eagles versus South Carolina United Bantams here from Dixon Field. The Eagles have a 2-0 lead over the Bantams after getting goals from Nathan Regis and Amos Abubakar in the first half. And there's a sub at halftime. Who came on, Mitch? I think that was number
20.
He came on right before the first half.
Right, Anthony Gonzalez replaced Freeman in the back. And then they've had number 10. That's
going to be Luis Zatuaga.
I'll let you say that one.
Yeah, Luis Zatuaga comes on for, I think he might be in for...
He came in for Rhett Stevens in that holder position just in front of the center backs.
Yeah, Rhett Stevens was sitting on a yellow card, so I think rather than risk that and having to potentially go down to 10 men, they just got him out of the game and put on Zatuaga. So we'll see how that impacts the game, and we'll see if Gonzalez is able to play well at that right back position coming on for Matt Freeman right at the end of the half. And South Carolina's going to try to get on the counterattack here. So they've got several guys coming up, including Gonzalez streaking up from left back, and Epps is going to try to cut one of them out, and that's going to be Zatuaga with a shot off the post right after coming in at halftime. Had a really nice volley there, and that just banged off the left post. It looked like he had James Pyle completely beat.
First touch of the game.
Yeah. That's a good take. He put it on frame, just not quite able to snatch that post and get it in the net. But
almost the same spot that Amos hit in the first half. That's the difference between 2-0 and 1-1 right there.
It was about 2 inches to the left of where Moss's was, and the difference was that one went in the net and the other didn't. But it's going to stay 2-0 here at the beginning of the half, but South Carolina definitely getting on the front foot there.
No, and as soon as they broke, they were numbers even. Epps, with a lot of pace, did really well to attack the byline and get that ball cut back. Zatuaga, with the fresh legs, was able to join the attack from the deep midfield position, get into the box before the Eagles defenders were able to transition back. McCarter and Jensen combined there on the near sideline.
Just like you were talking about earlier, Jensen's definitely coming back more and helping defend, trying to get more involved. And that's going to be Cates with a shot that goes over, and James Pyle looked like he had it covered, but a good shot there from Cates. Definitely has been the aggressor so far in the half.
And that started with Zatuaga again picking off a pass in the midfield. Jensen apologizing to his teammates. Square ball there that was given away. Zatuaga finds Cates, who let it fly.
And looks like Eli Dent was just going to let that one go out, and it's going to be a throw in there for South Carolina United, who is definitely working hard to get a goal and get game early in the half, as they've had already one bang off the post and another one just barely go, I think, over. But
Millard working hard to try and slow the ball down. Pressure on.
It's going to be a free kick there for the Charlotte Eagles. I think they just called a foul, and James Pyle's going to blast this one into the Bantams territory. And it looks like the substitutes, Zuluaga and Gonzalez, have both had a really good impact on this game, especially Zuluaga on his first take. So we'll see how they continue to impact the game. And the PDL, you're allowed to have six. You're allowed to have 6 as opposed to 3, like FIFA competitions would be. So you kind of have that freedom to put some subs on at halftime and still have. Oh, that's going to be a foul against South Carolina. They don't like it at all, but Charlotte's going to have a free kick right around midfield.
And that was Banya, who did win the ball, but with both feet coming in studs up. So that's where the ref decided that the play was too dangerous, even if there was no contact with the or threw the ball first.
And
You
now
come in with the
Bantams
studs
finds
up, they're going
Jensen,
to.
but McManus was able to just kind of knock him off the ball there, and South Carolina's going to be on the counterattack again with Cates, and he finds Cody Millard out on the right wing. But Charlotte's got to find the ball and see if South Carolina, they're going to try to do that overlap to Cates, and they play it in the middle, and Epps was able to get ahead on it, but it just kind of looped over to James Pyle, who was able to get under it and make a pretty easy save again. But good job by Epps just to get up to that and get ahead on it. It's a good ball to get onto.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Cates, who is running, still angling away from able to put in that quality. I think that might be a goal kick. Yeah, came back off of Regis. Well defended by Banya. Charlotte in the same shape, same attacking formation, and same lineup that was out there in the first half, but not the same rhythm, not the same continuity to possession.
And this is going to be Epps again, trying to get it on the counter. He's going to cut in and took a shot, but it was deflected by Abubakar, and now Wilfred Williams is able to just get the ball back. And now Danny Jensen's able to let it slide by Banya, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 now. And
Regis was looking
Nathan
for
Regis.
Jensen.
Danny Jensen now with the ball, and he takes a shot, but it's stopped by goalkeeper Marco Velez. That was a really good job by Nathan Regis there. Just let it slide by Banya, and kind of like almost a dummy to himself, and then turned right onto it. And all of a sudden, it was a 2-on-1. And if Danny Jensen had able to kind of time his run a little bit better and stay on sides, that would have been, I think, Regis would have been able to slide him in, and he would have had a 1-on-1 on the keeper. But Velez with a really good save there. That was a crucial save as well.
It was. So plenty of action here in the early stages of the second half.
I think they called a foul on Lawless Abubakar, who was trying to go up for the header on the corner kick. Then now it's going to be a throw into South Carolina.
Epps and McCarter, the two 17s, with a firm grip on each other's jerseys.
Yep. Now Culbertson's just checking the ball. He's done a good job of being that link between the back four and the midfield there.
I don't know if it's the fact that Epps got in behind the back line there on that first counterattack, but it seems like Charlotte's dropped off a little bit deeper and allowed South Carolina some more space to push forward.
Oh, and that ball's going to slide through, but Amasa Mancona was able to just kind of collect it and bring it back out. But now it's going to be Callahan, whose shot's deflected and collected by Eli Dent. And Dent finds Callahan again, who's going to try to take a low shot, but it's just going to trickle over to the left of the post, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Charlotte Eagles.
Did not get all of that one. Not quite what he had in mind there.
Yeah. South Carolina's definitely not afraid to take the deep shot, as both Callahan and Cates have taken several from beyond the 18-yard box. In fact, well beyond the 18-yard box, and you don't see a whole lot that are that low. And I think because of that, even if it had been on frame, I don't think James Pyle would have had too much trouble getting to that and keeping it out of his net.
Nine minutes into the second half, and
that was a good win there by McManus.
Opportunities for both teams already.
Now Mancona's going to take it up for the Eagles. When that's knocked out of bounds. Boston Mancona's already got a goal tonight after a really nice individual effort in the first half. Around the 35th minute, he was able to find the net.
Charlotte, really for the first time this half, establishing possession, stringing a few passes together.
Now I just started from the back. It's McCarter and Boitez and Abubakar have just kind of combined nicely and kept it away from those pesky Bantams forwards. And now it's going to be Austin Yearwood on the ball, and he was trying to find Nathan Regis, but wasn't quite able to. And Callahan tried to play a lofted ball over the top, but it was cut out by Mason McCarter, and now Austin Yearwood was able to win that one. And Danny Jensen's going to try to get the counterattack going. He's got Nathan Regis streaking. But they're going to call a foul on McManus. It looked like it might have been a clean slide tackle, but I think Danny Jensen just kind of slipped on, or just kind of caught the toe of McManus, and they called a foul there. So it's going to be a free kick, and I think Kyle Culbertson's going to take it from midfield, but a dangerous position to maybe swing one into the box.
Yeah, you see Abubakar going forward.
Yep, and I think Velez is just going to tell his defense to hold 18, and McManus using that big frame to head it away and keep the Eagles out again.
No, I think I might have to disagree with the ref's decision on that last call. I thought McManus was able to get his foot on the ball, and Jensen sort of spilled over him, whereas the first tackle we had in the that drew the call in the second half here, Banya got the ball as well, but I think it was a bit more reckless. The studs were up. Not sure.
Yep.
McManus, he didn't seem to be out of control. Maybe a little hard done by there. Here you see Charlotte falling into a little bit of what they did in the opening stages of the first half. Some long balls from deeper in midfield.
Just trying to get something going. And that's an errant pass from McManus, and it's going to go out for a Eagles throw-in just at around midfield.
And for all I know, that's intentional. It could be something that Coach Dixon has asked them to do, try and play some balls over the top to stretch out the Bantams' defense, try and put some balls in behind them, get that back forward to drop off, and then that makes space for Amakono Tenbosh on the ball.
And he almost played a really nice through ball, but it was cut out by Gonzalez. Regis was running onto it, and that would have been a dangerous play if it had just slipped by Gonzalez there, but he was up to it. And now South Carolina's going to try to counter with Cody Millard. And
nearly did get through three players.
Yep.
Took Culbertson at the end.
Not for lack of trying. Tim Bosch is just going to find Mason McCarter coming up from right back, and he doesn't have anybody on him, and now he's going to draw Gonzalez out, and Nathan Regis has him in the corner. He was trying to lob it up to McCarter, but it's cut out. It's nice to see McCarter getting into the attack there.
Not sure that Regis wouldn't have been better off holding on to that ball. McCarter had worked hard, and I think he wanted to reward the long run that he made. But if you're Regis, you stay on that ball and go 1v1 and create a service.
They call a foul there on, I think that's
Zuluaga.
That's Zuluaga, okay. And I think the ref just warned him. He didn't give him the yellow card, but I think he warned him that the hard challenge could result in a booking later.
Austin Yearwood getting instructions on where the ball should be thrown in. Gonna target Regis up the line, overthrows him. Do it again. See how long Charlotte waits to begin their substitutions. Bantams have made two already. One seemed to be forced by injury to Freeman, and the other one possibly because of the yellow card situation, bringing Zuluaga in. But yeah, you've got a couple of attacking options. Hayden Partain, a Wake Forest Demon Deacon that can come in up top. Josue Chavez, an attacking midfielder as well.
And Ben Locke getting his first roster appearance of the season tonight, as he's taking that number 8 shirt. Which
Locke, an attacking midfielder who went to high school here in Charlotte, his last 2 years of high school at Charlotte Country Day, and is currently enrolled early at NC State University. where he plays for former Charlotte Eagle Kelly Finley for the Wolfpack. So has yet to play a fall season for the Wolfpack, but got a spring season in under his belt. And now, looking to get some first time PDL.
Now South Carolina's on the attack and the rest flags up, and I think they're going to call. I don't know. What do you think that call was, Mitch?
I think, I'm going to say the ball popped up into his hand
there,
which is pretty harsh. I don't know if there's anything he could do about it, but as they were able to get Litton around into an attacking position from the right back spot.
We got a couple aerial battles there, and it ended up in Cody Millard's feet, and he's able to play it to Epps over out wide. And now Cates tries to bring it down in the box, but Abubakar was able to get it away.
Not a ton of rhythm to play yet in the second half. Kind of just each team attacking in spurts, but neither team really able to establish themselves in possession.
And I think that suits South Carolina, who's really more of a counter-attacking team anyway. They got a couple athletes up there that can really make things happen kind of against the grain of play. And so I think getting the Eagles out of their rhythm and kind of keeping them from stringing passes together has really kind of helped them so far this half, as I think that was Case to try to turn on it and play one into the box, but James Pyle just kind of intercepted that and was able to make the save.
Nearly a really good look. Epps had slipped around to the back post. Cates almost found him, played it a little too close to the keeper. Also seems like the ball's been played on the side of the field by the benches most of this half. Haven't seen McCarter or Tenbosch on the ball a whole lot for Charlotte. Or Eli Dent for South Carolina.
Daniel Tenbosch comes back now just to get involved, I think. And they're able to establish some possession, but Culbertson kind of made Yearwood track back there a little bit. Yearwood is able to get to it and find Culbertson again.
And you'll see McCarter give the width for Charlotte in the attack from the right back position when Tenbosch slides inside. So they give those guys the freedom, Tenbosch, to come inside and connect with Culbertson and Amakona, and then that releases McCarter to press up the field on the right flank. And then you kind of unbalance the other team's midfield. They have to figure out what they're going to do with Tenbosch.
That's a good aerial win there by McManus, but Tenbosch was able to get a foot on it, and now it's going to fall to Culbertson. And Culbertson just finds Regis.
A little more methodical here by Charlotte.
And Wilford Williams is going to cut in, and Banya was able to kind of get a body there on the ball and stops his momentum. And now it's going to be Austin Yearwood bringing it in and tried to whip one around to Danny Jensen there. And Danny Jensen working hard to get that ball from
he'll run as hard as he can after it.
Wasn't quite able to get there, and it's going to be a throw-in for South Carolina. Nathan Regis has been a lot more active in this game than maybe I've ever seen him before. And I think he's been rewarded for that, obviously with the initial goal, but also just, he's helped the team establish possession. Amasa Amakona tries to take a long shot, and it kind of dipped down nicely, but just still sailed a little bit over the bar. That was from about, 23 yards out. And
and it had nice shape to it. Started out.
I think he knocked that with the outside of his right foot.
Had some turn and some dip to it, just not quite enough. Good hustle
by Williams there, And Cody Millard is able to fend off the slide tackle, and this is dangerous for South Carolina. Cody Millard able to find Dent there, and Dent's just going to have to take it back and Play it to Cates. Cates back to Dent. And Dent swings it in with his left foot, but it's cut out by Boites. It's going to be a throw in for Charlotte as my partner Mitch Sanford signs out. It's just going to be me taking you through the rest of this one as Zuluaga establishes possession for South Carolina, and he's able to find his teammate Cody Millard there. But Kyle Culbertson now on the ball, and he's going to try to play it up to Danny Jensen, who is persisting hard, but it's going to fall to goalkeeper Marco Velez. But good pressure there by Danny Jensen, who's always pressuring. And now Daniel Timbosh is pressuring hard on the ball as Gonzalez is trying to do something with it. And now it's Dent on the ball, but a really good slide tackle there from Wilford Williams, who's looked really good so far for the Eagles in his first home start. And now it's Timbosh moving it up and playing it to Danny Jensen. Tried to swing one in, but it was knocked away from Matt McManus, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Charlotte Eagles. Just good stuff there from the Eagles to both pressure on the ball really hard and then connect some passes in the attacking third, and we're able to get it out to Jensen. And if he had been able to swing a ball in there into the box, that would have been dangerous, but McManus did a good job to just get a foot there and knock it out. So Culbertson's going to swing this one in with his left foot, and it's going to be close to the keeper. Oh, and it bounced into the box. Boites is able to knock it back in, but it's going to be another throw-in. Or, excuse me, I think that was Daniel Timbosh that was able to knock it back in, but good stuff there by the Eagles. And it's a really nice ball by Danny Jensen, and there's just a lot of guys around the 6-yard box that kept Velez from being able to get out to that. And if the Eagles, and here's going to be another one from Amankona, but Velez tried to get a hand there, and he wasn't able to, so it went off of a South Carolina defender. It's going to be another corner kick. That's a third. And Culbertson's going to take this one again. I think he likes to take the ones from the right side and swing it with his left foot, whereas Amasa Mankona likes to take the ones from the left side and hit it with his right foot. But here's Culbertson on the corner kick. He plays a hard-driven ball, but Cates was able to get ahead to that, and now McCarter's going to be on the ball here. 3 good balls in a row from the Eagles, and 3 plays in a row there where the Bantams were really forced. Oh, and this is a lot of physical contact. There's a foul against Cody Millard, and then we saw, I think that was Wilford Williams knocked down, and here's going to be a yellow card against South Carolina United, and I think that goes, okay, there are yellow cards against both teams. It's going to be Mason McCarter who's given a yellow card for the Charlotte Eagles, and then we got Jono Callaghan, who's given a yellow card for that push on Wilford Williams. So we're going to have cards for both teams, and now there's going to be a double substitution here for South Carolina United, and they're going to throw on Asa Christ, who's going to take the place of Eli Dent up top. So just to recap, there were 2 yellow cards in that play, one on Mason McCarter and one on Jonathan Callaghan. And I think we're just going to see that one substitution. They had 2 guys up there, but they're taking off Eli Dent and replacing him with Asa Christ out of University of South Carolina, who is going to come on at that left wing position. And Cody Millard almost got slid in and almost had a chance to have a shot on goal, and then Austin Yearwood was able to get it out and just barely right at that corner flag, so it's going to be a throw in, but deep in the Eagles' half. South Carolina United is going to try to get on the board and cut this lead in half, but that's not going to help as Rex Epps just blasted that one very wide of the goal, and I think it was attempted to be a cross, but just went out for a goal kick. But so South Carolina United's got 3 subs left, as Charlotte Eagles have not used any of theirs, so they have 6 more subs at their disposal as we're here in the 71st minute, 2-0. And they're able to just kind of, South Carolina was able to find a triangle of passing and then find Zuluaga, who plays a high ball up to Epps, but it is intercepted by Mason McCarter's head. Cody did a good job there using his body to shield off the defender and kind of direct that ball. And now South Carolina's doing a good job of stringing together some possession. That was a good ball there by Gonzalez to find Callahan, who finds Cates. And we haven't seen so much possession by South Carolina. They've been kind of relying more on hard defense and counterattacking, but this is good by South Carolina. They've put 10 or 11 passes together, but that was snuffed out by Austin Yearwood. And then Lawless Abubakar clears that cross into the center out, and it's going to be a throw-in for South Carolina. Wilford Williams once again being really active and gets a foot there, and now it's going to be Daniel Timbosh on the ball, and he tries to find Nathan Regis streaking down that left side, but to no avail. It's going to be a throw-in for SC United. South Carolina United comes here from Columbia, South Carolina. They're actually the product of a merger between the South Carolina Bantams, which was a team in Greenwood, South Carolina, and South Carolina United itself, which is a club team, as well as Abubakar is able to knock it back to James Fight. South Carolina United, which is a youth club in Columbia. I think those two clubs merged and created the South Carolina United Bantams, who have played the PDL here for a couple years and haven't had the best start to the season, but have looked frisky tonight against the Eagles, who lead the South Atlantic Division. But the Eagles still lead this one 2-0. As Austin Yearwood's on the ball now and finds who's able to turn and has a lot of time, finds Danny Jensen, and let's see what Danny can do with it. Danny kind of slipped up there, was able to stay on the ball to the center and find Mas Amankona. Oh, good lofted ball by Amankona to find Mason McCarter, who's coming up from the right back. And there's a good dummy there by Daniel Timbosh. And now it's Mas Amankona with a shot on goal, but it's knocked away by Matt McManus, and it's going to be a throw-in here for Charlotte. Good stuff there by Charlotte, using creativity, and almost got a good shot on goal there. And Amankona was trying to get his second goal of the night, but South Carolina's defense was once again there, and that's going to be another throw-in as Gonzalez was able to just knock it away with his chest, I think. And Mason McCarter's going to throw this one in for the Charlotte Eagles. He's done a good job of getting up from the back and really kind of being an extra attacker there from the right back position. And they're going to call a foul there on, I think that's going to be on Asa Christ, who shoved Danny Jensen there. It was a little bit shoulder to shoulder, but I think there was enough contact there that the ref saw reason to put the flag up, and so it's going to be a free kick from a pretty dangerous position, right outside the box, but way over to the right side. And Kyle Culbertson's going to take this one with his left foot. It's going to Eagles are probably going to play this kind of like a corner kick, but from a little bit of a better position, a little bit closer and a little bit more central. So there's going to be a two-man wall for South Carolina United. And he plays on a good ball. Lawless Abubakar was able to get a head onto it, and it knocked off the post there. Stayed in bounds, but South Carolina was able to knock that away. And I think the Eagles are just going to reset it here as McCarter found his fellow fullback, Austin Yearwood. But really dangerous stuff there is Lawless Abubakar was able to get up from center back and almost get his third goal of the season. As he just kind of climbed up over the South Carolina defense and was able to get ahead to that Kyle Culbertson and service off the free kick and almost put this lead at 3-0 as that's Amas Amankona comes up from midfield, but is dispossessed by Cody Millard. And now it's just McManus on the ball. And Cates is able to find his teammate out on the right. And let's see if South Carolina can get some numbers up. It looks like they're on about a 5-on-3 here. And Asa Chris, the new substitute, dribbles it in and takes a hard shot, and it goes a little bit high. It might have been to the right, but a good shot from about 26 yards out for Asa Chris in his first couple minutes. That was definitely his first shot, but it sailed it high, and it's going to be a goal kick for Charlotte. And we have a substitution for the Bantams now. And Rex Epps is going to come out from forward, and Alfredo Cedeno is going to come in for South Carolina. He and Epps are tied for with 2 goals to be the South Carolina leading scorers, but Epps is going to make way for Cedeno. And now Danny Jensen just kind of muscling his way onto the ball against Banya. And he's able to get around the corner, and let's see if he can find someone here. He finds Amankona inside the box and forces a great save from Marco Velez, who was just able to parry it over. Excuse me, that was a good shot by Wilfred Williams there, who got a good pass from Nathan Regis, who just got around that corner. And now it's going to be a substitution, the first substitution for the Charlotte Eagles, as Scout Monteith gets into the game for Wilfred Williams. Monteith has started most games this season at center back, but it looks like he's going to enter this game as a midfielder. Wilfred Williams comes out after a good 77 minutes of play, and it's going to be a corner kick, and I think that was Boitez who was just able to get a head onto it, but not quite directed at goal, and it's going to be a goal kick. Hamas Amankona was able to play a good ball in for him there, and Boitez was able to use his height to get above the South Carolina defense and get a head onto it, but he just turned it wide, and another miss for the Eagles. That was a good win there by Culbertson. And that's going to be a throw-in for South Carolina. So it looks like they're playing Scout Monteith at kind of as a holding midfielder now, so we'll see if that allows Kyle Culbertson to move up and play as more freely. It looks like he's still kind of playing as a holding midfielder, though. Oh, that's going to be a hard foul against Boites, and we'll see if the ref opens his book. No, he's not going to. I think he thought about giving a yellow card to Sedona there, but just a hard foul, and so it was a Charlotte free kick. And Amankona makes a good run and able to clean the ball there. And let's see if he can find Danny. Nope, not able to find Nathan Regis. Oh, yes, he is. I think he is. And now it's going to be Daniel Timbosh who's able to turn well. And he's going to possess it into the South Carolina's left wing. Now Amankona runs onto the ball, but is beaten there by Cates. And now the Bantams once again on a counterattack, but it's snuffed out by Culbertson. And Anya able to knock it away after Nathan Regis gave good chase there and forces a corner kick. And there's going to be another substitution. And Danny Jensen's going to come out now for Hayden Partain out of Wake Forest, who's going to come into the game. Hayden has 1 goal in the season. He scored in, I think, the Eagles' second kick, and he'll come in, I think, as a forward for Danny Jensen here in the 80th minute. Just didn't have a goal or an assist, but definitely had a solid game up there up top, giving a lot of pressure and working hard defensively. Position and definitely helping the Eagles maintain some possession as Amos Amankona is going to knock one in, but Velez is able to hold that one, went up for it, and was able to keep it. So, but the Eagles were able to get possession back pretty quickly. It looks like Hayden Partaine's going to be on that right side, and I think they're kind of switching to a 4-2-3-1 here as Partain dribbles it into South Carolina territory, and he's knocked down, but it was pretty clean. I think he just kind of tripped up over the ball and didn't have a lot of support there from his teammates, and South Carolina was able to get possession back. But I think since putting Scott Monteith on, the Eagles have kind of switched to a 4-2-3-1. And they're playing Daniel Timbosh at that number 10 role, kind of right there in the hole as an attacking mid. As Cody Miller was able to get a left foot onto that one and almost directed at goal, but it's going to sail high and wide as it's going to go out for a goal kick. And I think I think the Eagles are kind of switching to a they have those two holding midfielders now with Culbertson and Monteith, and they're going to keep Mas Amankona as kind of that attacking mid, and then they're going to play Partain, who came on for Danny Jensen, and Daniel Timbosh over on the right and left respectively, and they're going to keep Nathan Regis up there at that center striker. Do we have another substitution here? I think he's just getting ready to come on. So as we enter the last 10 minutes of the game, there are going to be two substitutions. Going to come out now. And Tyler Allen gets into the game for Charlotte. He's going to move into that right back position. And Cody Millard is going to come out for South Carolina, and in his place is going to be Graham Germstad, who's going to come in, I think, on the right side for South Carolina, kind of a right midfield position. If in the last 10 minutes South Carolina can get something going, I think they'll need a goal pretty soon if they want to really force Charlotte to work hard to preserve this victory. A 2-goal victory is a 2-goal lead is a lot easier to maintain than a 1-goal. So if South Carolina can get a goal in the next couple of minutes, it'll make this game very interesting as the Eagles try to hold on to what could be their 7th win of the season. And Tyler Allen tried to get on the ball there, but wasn't quite able to win it. And South Carolina's on the ball now. South Carolina's definitely done a better job of possessing in this half, and they're going to try to work it down that right side now. And I think they find Zoaga maybe, but it's knocked away by the Eagles' defense. And South Carolina's going to play a long ball here, but that's easily headed away by Austin Yearwood, who I think when Tyler Allen came in for Charlotte, they moved Austin Yearwood over to right back, which suited Allen better, who prefers to play on the left side. And now Nathan Regis is going to try to hold it up and get some support from his teammates. And Allen tried to play it down the left side, but South Carolina was able to maintain possession. A good passing there by South Carolina, but it was just broken up by Amos Amankona, and now the Eagles are on the ball again, but Nathan Regis gives it away pretty carelessly up top, and South Carolina just kind of recycles it. And now Denny Casey's going to try to play the long ball, but he didn't really have very much support up there, and so I think they've just moved Scout Monteith back into the pack again. Nope, I'm mistaken. They moved Tyler. Yeah, I think they've kept the back four pretty much the same. And now Austin Yearwood's trying to dispossess Kirst for South Carolina, and that's a good ball by number 4 Graham Germstad, the new sub, playing Kirst, but Lawless Abubakar was able to knock Asa Kirst off the ball, and the Eagles cleared away. So now we're in the last 5 minutes of regulation, and I think the South Carolina's sense of urgency has gone up a lot. So they're trying to play a lot of balls over the top and just trying to make something happen. As it's going to be really hard taking a 2-0 deficit into stoppage time and trying to get a result here in Charlotte. South Carolina really needs a result here. They're in last place in the South Atlantic, and I think if they aren't able to get at least 1 point here, or definitely 3 points, they might be out of contention for getting a playoff spot in that South Atlantic division. They definitely don't want to finish in the cellar, so. But it would take a lot to even get 1 point off of Charlotte tonight. They've looked really good, and they've got a comfortable 2-0 lead as we're in the last 4 minutes of regulation. And Asa Kirst is able to get it over on that left side. And hard defending from Hayden Partain, who's really working hard to dispossess him. Now Gonzalez ball in, looking at trying to get it to Cates, but that's going to go out for a corner kick, as I think Lawless Abubakar got a head onto that and knocked it out for a corner. But that was a really nice ball from Gonzalez just to try to swing that in. It was a good curling ball and just far enough out that James Pyle wasn't able to get there. So it's going to be a corner kick. And Nathan Regis is going to come out, and Josue Chavez is going to take his place up top for the Eagles. And Regis got that opening goal for Charlotte to give them a 1-0 lead when he was able to blast one into the top left corner. Now Josue Chavez comes into the game. And the ball comes in from the right corner, but Charlotte was able to get it out. And now Hayden Partain tried to clear it, but it hit the back of one of South Carolina's players. And South Carolina is definitely working hard to get a goal in this dwindling minutes of stoppage time. And looks like one of South Carolina's forwards got a head on it, but wasn't quite able to direct it at goal. I think that might have been Zalawaga. No, it was Cedeno. So Charlotte's gonna have a goal kick here. James Pyle looking to hold his 4th shutout of the season, as he has 23 saves and only 3 goals allowed for the Eagles so far. It's a very impressive stat line. And Daniel Timbosh now on the ball, dispossessing Cates. And he's going to draw a couple defenders too and then find Amas Amankona. And I don't know what Amas Amankona was trying to do there. He played a kind of a lofted ball in. Maybe he thought that Allen or Timbosh was going to be able to run onto it, but then Marco Velez was just able to collect it pretty easily. And now Timbosh once again on the ball. He's working hard from over on that left side just to get involved and make something happen for Charlotte. Now that's Josue Chavez there, who just came on for Regis, and he finds Amas Amankona. And let's see if Hayden Partain can swing in a ball from the right. He finds, I think that's Chavez again. And Chavez hits one with his left foot, but it goes high and left, and so it's going to be a goal kick here for South Carolina. And now South Carolina on the ball once again. Made a lot of subs this game, especially up top. So a lot of the guys that are attacking now are different than who the Eagles were facing in the first half. Cates is still in there though, and he finds his teammate, who finds Gonzalez out on the left. Gonzalez played some good balls from that left back position. And now Culbertson finds it. And the fourth official just put up the board that indicates that there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time tonight. As Hayden Partain dribbles it on the right flank, finds Amasa Mancona, who's pretty open, and he finds, is that Daniel Timbosh or Tyler Allen? A good save by Marco Velez. Velez has had an excellent game despite allowing those 2 goals. And we're going to have another save here as Daniel Timbosh comes out. And replacing him is going to be Josh Crimmers. And it's going to be a corner here for the Eagles. Amankona placing it with his right foot. And it's still in the box. And Jose Chavez worked hard there to keep him from clearing it. It's going to be a throw-in for South Carolina. And that's pretty significant there just because it's a lot, I think they're just trying to get the ball up the field because they need a goal. And I think South Carolina's going to take a lot of risks now, and Velez is just going to blast it forward, and they really need to get numbers up and make something happen here if they want to get a result tonight. They've fought hard tonight as Amankona dribbles it in and tried to find Chavez there, but got kind of deflected. And Callahan plays it back to, I think that was Litton that he may have found. And Gonzalez just holding up the ball. He seems pretty agitated because they need to get something going. And McManus puts a long ball up. And Lalo Sabibakar was able to fend off Germstead there, who was trying to dispossess him in front of the goal. And that's going to be a foul against Josue Chavez. I think he knew it was, too. Nothing malicious, just kind of trying to come up from behind him and get ahead there, and just kind of ran into South Carolina United player. So it's going to be a free kick, and Lalo Sabibakar once again is able to get up there and head that away. He seems to always win those balls. And we have to be in the last minute or so of stoppage time. I don't think there have really been any significant stoppages since stoppage time started. So, and that's going to be the final whistle. The Charlotte Eagles move to 7-0-1 with a 2-0 victory over South Carolina United Bantams. Nathan Regis and Amas Amankona scored in the first half as Charlotte moves to 24 points and maintains their first place position in the South Atlantic Division, which gives them a 5-point lead on the Cincinnati Dutch Lions, who they're going to have a 3-game stretch against next week. Their next game will be against Cincinnati. But that was a really good performance from Charlotte tonight. South Carolina, despite kind of coming into this game in last place, definitely fought hard. Definitely made the Eagles work for everything they got and every inch of ground on the field out there. But Charlotte did a good job of possessing and utilizing Regis and Amankona, who were working hard up top, as they just named Amas Amankona the Power A player of the game. But really a good result from Charlotte, who needed a win after 3 ties against Southern West Virginia. Needed a win to kind of establish their position in first place. And they're hoping to get first place in that South Atlantic Division going into the playoffs. So hopefully for them they can get some results against Cincinnati, who seems to have the biggest chance of catching them in the division. So that's going to wrap things up here after Maasam and Kona are able to get goals for the Charlotte Eagles. They are able to hold on to a 2-0 win. Thank you for watching.